We went on a ghost walking tour and we went by this hotel called the Weatherford in Flagstaff, Arizona. And it's truly haunted. This whole city of Flagstaff, Arizona is ridiculously haunted. But this one, there's a story about a little boy who passed away there. His name was Algeron. And for the life of me, I could not remember the name Algeron. I'm like, what kind of name is that? So for the next, I heard the ghost story about him in the whole 9 yards, and it's like, okay, well that's a good story. But for whatever reason, it stuck with me, and I kept asking the tour guide, "What's this kid's name again?" I was just obsessed with it. By the end of the tour, I kept saying his name, Algeron, Algeron, Algeron. And I guess it was kind of like a Beetlejuice thing because I said it too many times. And on the way home, Dawn started getting sick to her stomach, and we couldn't figure out why. We get home and she's still feeling nauseated and just not feeling good at all. And I'm still obsessed with this kid Algeron and his name and how to say it. And by this time, I've already Googled it and I'm trying to find more information, and I was just obsessed over it. So we're home and it's time to go to bed, and she's just real sick. And I'm trying to turn the TV on, and it keeps flickering on and off and on and off and on and off. And it didn't make sense. Well, in the house we lived in at the time, we've since moved. I have little cat balls that if you touch them, the light flickers, and they're used for ghost hunting. I had them all over the house because that house had entities in it as well. And these little balls would start flashing lights for no reason whatsoever because we were not near touching them. And you have the TV going on and off, you have Dawn being sick, and you have these little cat balls going off, and me being obsessed with Algeron. Well, whether it coincidence or not, I don't know, but I've had people tell me I was nuts and, ridiculous, but it dawned on me that maybe something attached itself to us. And I legitimately said, and I truly from the heart meant it. I says, Algeron, if this is you that's followed us home, I meant no disrespect to you. I'm curious about your story and I just want to learn more. And I'm sorry if I upset you. Almost instantly, the TV turned on by itself. The little cat balls stopped flashing, and Dawn goes, "You know what? I'm feeling better." And she got better. So, was it all a coincidence or did it actually happen? I was there, I witnessed it, and I know what I said, and I know what I did. And there's people that come up and say, "Oh, you're full of shit. Show me video. Show me this." I'm like, dude, I don't have any. This is just me telling you what I've experienced. You take it for what it's worth. And, that just once again solidified what I believe about the afterlife or paranormal or whatever you want to call it. And every time I question things and say, well, this can't be true. This can't be happening, something along those lines will happen to me or to us. And it brings it right back home. There's so much I don't know, and there's so much going on that I want to know. And it's just like, I can't wait for tomorrow to find something else to dig into.
How has like science not came up with an explanation for why things like that happen? Like there's so many different reasons now for like scientifically why like the body works in a certain way or why certain foods make you feel a certain way. How is there no science for this yet? Or do you know even from like the inside if there's any advancements on it or anything?
There's always scientific answers for everything. Anything paranormal can be contributed to a scientific reason or reasoning, I guess you can call it. I guess it goes beyond that to the person. If you're a true scientist, you don't believe in heaven and hell, you don't believe in purgatory, you don't believe in creation, and it's the Big Bang Theory and the whole 9 yards. So you eliminate automatically that result out of the equation. But if you have an open mind, or science is, it's like doctors, they're practicing. When you go in there, I'm practicing medicine. Well, that's the same thing with science. We're always learning. Science has come along so far. That's why we have so many of the cool little toys that detects paranormal and makes things go off. But it also goes back to the simplest things like the EMF meter that picks up electromagnetic frequencies. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out if you have frequencies coming in and going out. But where how you define them, I guess that's where it comes from. So yes, science has helped. It's also helped to debunk a lot of things too. But like what happened to me with Algeron, science could debunk that easily. Absolutely. You have power fluctuations and we have lots of EMF going off, which EMF, lots amounts of it can make a person sick, which is why Dawn got sick. You can dissect all that and discount it as well. But to live through that or see something like that, it's real. It's real. And science can say whatever they want to say. And I love to hear their responses to it. But I don't think we'll ever know just simply because nobody's died and come back 3 days later and talked about it. And there's no way we can know. There's a lot of people that YouTube it that have died and said they've experienced things and this is what they've saw and everything. And a lot of it correlates. Can you back it up with science? Nope, absolutely not, because it doesn't make sense. So, it's whatever I guess it's what you want to believe and how much faith you have and what's coming up and what's out there. Science is a great tool, but it can't fix or describe everything.
Yeah, it's almost like as the years go on, you feel more pity for like the believers and stuff because we live in like the information era, which is good obviously because we do get answers to a lot of questions and stuff. Problem is, if you search hard enough, you'll find a group of people that agree with you, no matter if you're right or wrong. And it applies to this,
Exactly.
like you mentioned about the science, like it could debunk it. There also is probably people that could prove it was real too. Like you're never going to get a direct answer because there's so many people now on both sides, and they're never going to come to a conclusion, really, are they?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's one of those things that's you have to believe what you want to believe. And if you're persuaded by people one way, you're gonna believe that or the other way. And it's all what you want. And like we had talked about earlier, I have an open mind about everything and I'm open. And I think again, that's why I have no issues or problems or anything because I'm open-minded. If somebody tells me that's demonic, I'm gonna go the other way because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want none of that nonsense. And scientifically, I've had people tell me, you know what, this is impossible. It's like, well, yeah, you're right, it is. But it happened. I was there, I seen it. So is it a fictitious thing in my mind? I've never been on a ghost hunt after drinking. I've never done illicit drugs or illegal drugs. So there's nothing that's ever chemically hindered me. So, scientifically, yeah, it looks good on paper, but I'm telling you, I almost shit my pants when this happened.